Quick question. If I speak 5 languages fluently, am I a linguist? Most people assume yes. Actually, no. And the reason why tells you almost everything about what this field really is. Welcome back to Linguaminds, the channel where language stops being invisible. In this video, we will cover 3 parts. Linguistics is the scientific study of language. Not the practice of speaking it, but the structure underneath it. A linguist studies English the way a biologist studies a frog. You don't need to be the frog. That distinction matters. Linguists don't tell you how to speak correctly. They observe how language actually behaves in real speech, real writing, real communities, and ask why it works the way it does. Here's an example. Grammar books say ain't is incorrect. A linguist doesn't care about correct, they care about pattern. Where is ain't used? By whom? In what context does it signal identity, region, or informality? That's data, not error. That's not one subject. It's a whole field of interconnected subfields. Phonetics, morphology, syntax, semantics, pragmatics, and more. We'll unpack each of those in later videos on this channel. But here's the real reframe. Language isn't just a communication tool. It's arguably the clearest window we have into how the human mind organizes thought. Every sentence you've ever produced is proof of an invisible rule system running in your head. One you were never explicitly taught. So no, linguistics isn't about how many languages you speak. It's about uncovering the hidden architecture behind any language at all. And once you start seeing that architecture, you can't unsee it. That's what this series' first part is about. Next we are going to discuss how this entire field came to exist. From ancient Sanskrit grammarians to the linguist who accidentally started a cognitive revolution, 2,400 years before anyone had heard of Noam Chomsky. A scholar in ancient India wrote a grammar so precise. Modern computer scientists still study it. Linguistics didn't start in a university. It started here. Around the 4th century BCE, the grammarian Panini composed a nearly 4,000 rule system describing Sanskrit. So systematic it functions almost like a computer program for generating correct sentences. It's one of the earliest known examples of formal, rule-based linguistic analysis. Centuries later, in Greece and Rome, grammarians took a different approach. Cataloging parts of speech, debating what made language correct. This was less science, more philosophy of language. But it planted the seed of grammatical categories we still use today: nouns, verbs, cases. The real turning point came in 1786. A British judge in colonial India, Sir William Jones, noticed something strange. Sanskrit, Greek, and Latin shared suspiciously similar words and grammar. Too similar to be coincidence. He proposed they all descended from a single common ancestor language, now called Proto-Indo-European. This discovery launched comparative philology, the 19th century project of reconstructing lost languages by comparing their descendants. It's essentially linguistic archaeology, and it gave us the Indo-European language family tree. The ancestor of English, Hindi, Russian, Persian, and hundreds of others. But the biggest shift came at the turn of the 20th century, with a Swiss linguist named Ferdinand de Saussure. Saussure argued linguistics had been asking the wrong question. Instead of just tracing history, he said, study language as a system that exists right now, a structure of relationships between signs. He introduced the idea of the linguistic sign, the arbitrary link between a word and its meaning. Why does the sequence of sounds tree mean that leafy plant? No inherent reason. It's a shared social agreement. This idea, structuralism, became the foundation of modern linguistics. For decades, this behaviorist, structure-focused approach dominated. Then in 1957, a young MIT linguist named Noam Chomsky published a book that flipped the field again. His argument: language isn't just learned from exposure. Humans are born with an innate mental blueprint for grammar. He called it universal grammar. This sparked what's often called the cognitive revolution. The idea that studying language is really studying the mind itself. It connected linguistics to psychology, philosophy, and eventually, computer science. And that computer science connection is where we are today. Modern linguistics increasingly relies on corpus data. Huge digital databases of real language, and computational models. In a strange way, the field has come full circle, back to Panini's dream of language as a precise, describable system, just now with machine learning instead of palm leaf manuscripts. 24 centuries. One continuous question: what is this system we call language? Next, why any of this actually matters outside a classroom. Every time your phone finishes your sentence. Every time a court case hinges on what a text message really meant. Every time a language disappears forever, linguistics is quietly involved. This isn't an academic curiosity. It's infrastructure. Let's start with the mind. Every fluent speaker uses grammatical rules they were never explicitly taught, and can't even state. Ask a 5-year-old why the big red ball sounds right, but the red big ball sounds off. They can't tell you. But they know. That gap, between what we do and what we can explain, is exactly what psycholinguistics studies. It tells us language isn't just cultural learning. It's wired into cognition itself. Which means studying language is, in part, studying the architecture of the human brain. Second, technology. Every autocomplete, every voice assistant, every translation app runs on computational linguistics, models trained to predict and parse human language. And the better these systems get, the more they reveal what's still uniquely hard about language: sarcasm, ambiguity, cultural nuance. Third, identity and power. How you speak, your accent, your dialect, your word choice, shapes how people perceive your intelligence, trustworthiness, even employability. Sociolinguists study this directly. Language isn't neutral. It's tangled up with class, race, region, and access. This has real stakes. Forensic linguists analyze disputed authorship in legal cases, ransom notes, threatening messages, plagiarism disputes, by studying someone's linguistic fingerprint, their habitual word choices and sentence patterns. Fourth, and maybe most urgent, language loss. Right now, linguists estimate roughly 40% of the world's roughly 7,000 languages are endangered. Many with only a handful of elderly speakers left. When a language dies, we don't just lose words. We lose an entire, irreplaceable way of organizing reality. That's why documentary linguists spend years in the field, often with the last fluent speakers of a language, racing to record grammar, vocabulary, and oral tradition before it's gone for good. So, mind, machine, identity, and memory. 4 completely different domains, and linguistics sits underneath all of them. That's the case for why this field isn't just interesting. It's foundational. From here on, we go deep into the actual subfields, sounds, structure, meaning, and how people really use language. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.